Hey. Yeah, I'm taking a tea time in the middle of the night. I think it's like 3 a.m. And I just couldn't sleep. So I decided to make a tea time. Why not? Because that's all I was thinking about. It's it's weird like doing these because it makes me happy. You know, like you just do things that make you happy. Yeah, like I guess this just makes me happy, and it gives me meaning. I don't know how it is for you, but like I kind of need meaning in my life. Like we say like humans have to create meaning, and that's why they created religion. I don't know if everyone says that. I definitely have heard people say that, and I've thought that before. But yeah, I need meaning in my life. It gives me purpose to keep moving forward and to feel like I'm going somewhere. Like, how do you feel when you're not going somewhere and you have no idea where you're going? Right? Like, I feel like some people say, I have no idea where I'm going with this. Have you ever said that? I certainly think that. A big obvious one was the transition. The transition, right? I have no idea where I'm going with this. I also have no idea where I'm going with this, like with what we're talking about today. So there's no like, this is what we're going to be covering, because I think what we're covering today is maybe just that we don't know where we're going. Such is life. That there's this feeling as we go through life where we think we know where we're going and then we totally end up somewhere else. Like, where are you now versus where you thought you'd be? Where did you want to be? Where are the surprises that make you really happy? There's these moments in life where you go, I would have never guessed in a million years that I would be here experiencing this thing right now. I never thought that I would live in Berlin. I never thought that I would be a woman living in Berlin. I have these little experiences where I'll be with someone doing something and go, wow, I never thought this would be happening. I never thought I'd be doing this or experiencing that. How are those feelings for you? I get a rush of dysphoria too. Not dysphoria, euphoria, excuse me. I use that word so much that I'm also forgetting about the other one. Oh my God, so stupid. I'm like ridiculous at 3 a.m., I guess. These are my bed thoughts. I actually have like a journal called Bed Thoughts because my mind just goes a little bit further than usual. Yeah. And I've been wondering about like these tea time episodes. I had a thought, which kind of I think is the thing that woke me up because I got excited. What if I made 2 videos sometimes in a day? Because, sitting down and getting in the zone to talk, it takes a little bit of energy. But once you get going, it's a lot easier. In that sense, I noticed that I'm a momentum player. Like once I'm ready to get going, I'm like going. slow to build up the engine, but once she's going, she's going, you know? I don't know if this is like everyone's thing though. Like, how is it for you? Like, do you find it easy to keep going once you get going on something? Or is it more like, you know, you do the thing and then that's it? Or I'm not sure even like what the different kinds of ways there are in doing something. Excuse me for the yawns, but you know, it's 3 a.m. Yeah. Getting lost in one's thoughts. It's sort of like we live these day-to-day experiences, living our lives, but how much of it do we actually have consciousness over? You know, like a lot of times we just do things out of a response to something else, or we're daydreaming, or we're thinking about something else while we're doing it, or we're just reacting to something. But like, when do we consciously choose something to do, or when we're fully aware of the present moment? You know, life is just, it's odd at times when you start to have these kinds of questions. Back to meaning, I think like truth is a very interesting one, because people go, oh yeah, well, you know, this is true or that's true. But I always circle back on nothing is true. You know, there's only things that are relatively true. And this upsets people, because people are like, well, how can you say that? Because if you say that, then like, what is science? What is anything? It's very dangerous, someone said the other day. It's very dangerous to say this. Because, you know, you have like fake news and just all of this other stuff. And I don't know where the balance here is, but I've always felt like reality is relative. You know, we could say, for example, that gravity is true, and we could say that numbers are true, but they're only true when we have the constructs that support them. And you could say, well, no, 1 + 1 always equals 2. And yeah, it does, but like, when you remove the idea that things can be tangible, like that our perception says that there is such a thing as 1 and there is such a thing as 2, and you say, well, you know, the fundamental universe, there's a one thing and there's a thing. Fundamentally, they exist. They only exist if we see them as separate. Do you know what I mean? If we perceive a separateness from one thing or another, then we can say there's two things. Like if I say I exist and then I say you exist, then we're two separate things. But if I don't experience or perceive myself being any different from you, and that we're all part of the same thing, then there is no 1 + 1. There is no 2, because everything is just 1. Yeah. That's kind of like the things that I think about when I'm like biking home. What is really true? What's reality? And like, what can you say about it? I don't know. Have I gone off the deep end? Are you with me? Or are you able to go here with me at this moment? Making these videos, it's often like a trans topic, and like that's how I met all of you is through this trans topic somehow. But there's like so many more topics that I want to cover. And I'm really thankful for the communication that you have with me when you write something in the comments. Yeah, I'm really thankful about that. Because it gives me yeah, I'm really thankful about that. My eyes are stinging. It gives me a sense of connection. You know, like being able to have this kind of a conversation, I don't get to have this kind of conversation all the time. And you know, with COVID and stuff like that, I'm a little bit lonely. And I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared. You know, it's like you go out and you don't know if you're gonna get it. And so like having this kind of connection is it's healing. It makes me happy. And it makes me feel like there's purpose to what I'm doing. That I'm creating some meaning with you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long this is because I've lost track of time. I can always keep going. But y'all told me it's like, keep it to 10 to 15 minutes, Ashley. So I'm probably at that time. But yeah, wherever you are, I hope you're doing really well. And, you know, it's always nice to hear from you. Not in like a desperate way. But like, it's nice. It gives me a sense of place. And y'all are so smart, and y'all have different experiences. You know, Francesca, you've had some intense experiences, and you've gone through so much. And Joanna, like, you're so smart, and you have such an interesting perspective. And there's like Cutie Yuri, who's always like encouraging, and Krugos, who always has an interesting perspective too. Gosh, I feel like I should even just open up my YouTube to go through all the usernames. But yeah, you mean a lot to me. Like, in this very short amount of time that we start to build this connection, it's really cool. It's really cool to spend this kind of sit-down time together in this way. And it's therapeutic, for sure. I'm forgetting others, like Brianna, or, you know, I feel like ashamed that I can't even remember everyone. But, yeah, I guess that's all I really had to say. So, I'm sorry if I also didn't mention you. I'm also trying to pull up my YouTube comments to see if I can remember. I apologize if I didn't mention you, but if I've responded to you, it has meant something to me. So, yeah. Good night. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.